LWML is about missions and about fellowship and about mentoring our women, being there for each other, being those sisters in Christ that we need.
The church benefits from the LWML because of the grassroots support for the missions. Many of the mission grants that the LWML provides give that extra boost or that funding that is not available anywhere else.
We really do make a difference. I've been fortunate that in several roles in my life I've been able to travel to third world countries, and you can see the difference we've made there.
I like to say that the LWML is for the women, by the women, generation to generation.
And so what a great thing to do together as women, connecting us from coast to coast, being able to serve missionaries, pray for missionaries, support missionaries, and then do things on a local level for our church, and just doing it together as women of the church.
And I think it's for every woman. What I might like to do in serving God will be different from what somebody else likes to do or wants to do. But there's a place for each person.
Someone asked me if I would go to a district or go to a national convention. I says, sure, I'll go. I had 2 little kids, a third on the way, and that's what we did. And it was after that I couldn't get enough. I just absolutely couldn't get enough. I wanted to be there again and again.
Now, we had been in a congregation in the greater Cleveland area, and I had attended a few meetings in our local society, but I really didn't know very much about the LWML. So I went to the convention in Detroit, and that changed my whole perspective. I got the big picture right away, and that started my journey in the LWML. And it was people like Lina in our home congregation. She was in her 70s, and once I became involved, she said, I'll babysit your kids. You go to the district convention. People like my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law who came, drove from Chicago area again to take care of the kids so that I could participate. So it was all these individual women that made it possible for me to be part of the LWML.
It has meant so much because I saw a group of women who truly loved the Lord and loved one another. The first retreat that I went to just did it for me, and I've never stopped since.
I've often said that LWML was a life-changing event for me. It was a life-changing event. God just opened doors for me to see ways that I could serve the Lord in ways I did not know existed, that I had never before in my lifetime in the LCMS seen all the laughter and the hugs and the purpose and the joy that these women had in serving the Lord through the Lutheran Women's Missionary League. God just put it in my heart that this was where I needed to be involved and where I needed to spend my time.
I say my husband's a pedigreed Lutheran, but I am not. Did not grow up in the Lutheran church, so when I got married, I was looking for a home in the church. I was involved, but it was because of Jerry, who said, this is a place. And so I've always said the LWML became my home in the LCMS. It gave me a place to belong. And it gave me a place for friends. But even more so, the purpose, the mission of the LWML said this is a worthwhile organization. This is something worthwhile to do.
I look back on the people in my life and I see where just their encouragement, their love has brought me along. And I know that all of them were, God has put them in my life.
Mrs. Hartner, bless her heart, she's been in heaven a long time. She called me up and said, Gloria, I need to talk to you. And I'll come. Can you meet me at your church? Because she knew where that was. She was a pastor's wife. And she asked me, she told me that I should be the next zone president. And I was like, astounded, truly. And but Mrs. Hartner had her way.
I would say to a young woman, if she's looking for something that will affect her lifelong commitment to Christ, is to the LWML has it. It has it for a gift to herself, a gift to community, and a gift to the church. She is the gift that God has given.
Every LWML person participates at her own level in the own way that she wants to. We have a couple of things in common. It's Bible study, and we put coins and funds and our own personal gifts in a mite box. And they do things together that I can't possibly do alone. But together as a group, and I know that I'm part of a big group when we do that, we can accomplish big things.
The church benefits from the LWML because of the grassroots support for the missions. Many of the mission grants that the LWML provides give that extra boost or that funding that is not available anywhere else. And it's so exciting to see the results of our mission grants, to have speakers come back and talk about what an impact that grant had for their ministry.
Many of the women never get to see, and nor did I, but all the things that LWML has done over the years of support in all these foreign countries, and there's plaques everywhere built by the LWML, provided by the LWML, and the women never get to see that, and yet they don't get tired of giving and praying and supporting because they're doing it together, and it's just gives them great opportunity, and they love the Lord. They just love Jesus, and they love doing it.
I would hope that at the local level or wherever it is, there's some LWML woman saying to another woman, there's a place for you in this organization, in this place. You may not serve the way I serve, but there's a place for you. There's a home for you.
I think God works through our friends and our people that we know to actually help us know what we should do with our lives, to use our gifts. I think the best way for women to be encouraged is to personally invite them, to say to them, come with me. I'm going to go. Can I pick you up? Or can we meet and we'll carpool together?
The time is now to encourage other people to participate in this life-changing opportunity you have.
I'd encourage our members to not only invite people to come to participate in servant events and Bible study and worship, but just to sit down, to invite someone for a cup of coffee, a soda, whether it be at her home or her friend's home or at a coffee shop, and just be a friend. Be a friend to that person. Listen to them, mentor them. No, my heart's just with the LWML. My passion is that I wanted to continue for generations.